very much, folks, and I appreciate all of you because you guys have made this such a big success. I'm happy to tell you about what we do every day at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. But if you guys don't tune in, well, then it ain't much of a show, is it? Just like Tillman Fertitta said, if we open up all these restaurants and his sporting teams and all this other stuff and nobody comes, well, it's not going to make it. So I thank all of you because now we're over 50,000 viewers every day to this broadcast. So thank you for making this such a huge success. We push it out through Periscope, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you know it. And we appreciate you guys being part of it. So thank you very much. YouTube too. Thank you guys all very much. With that said, let's get started with 3 at 3. So 3 at 3, as you know, is unusual option activity. MarketRebellion.com is where you can get it. We are the only ones with our patented algorithms, and we don't distribute them. We keep them in a mayonnaise jar on Funkin' Wagnall's porch. Isn't that what Johnny Carson used to say? Anyway, these are our proprietary algorithms, folks, and all kidding aside. And if you want them, the only place you can get it is marketrebellion.com/UOA for unusual option activity. By the way, really looking forward to this. Jack Carr, oh my gosh, the guy, he gets me so pumped up that I love listening to his books. I am very fortunate to say Jack, the Navy SEAL commander, platoon commander, and the New York Times best-selling author will be joining me tomorrow at the market close to talk about everything. I mean, we can talk about everything, and if you've seen him on Joe Rogan or any of the other broadcasts he's been on, this is a guy that's the real deal. And I love that he writes about what he knows, writes about what he loves, and I'm really looking forward to the interview tomorrow. Again, don't have to register, folks. You can just come on in. We're glad to have you. I'll be broadcasting tomorrow with Jack Carr, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. And again, New York Times best-selling author, Navy SEAL, ran the sniper patrols, did all kinds of stuff, and much of that, of course, are in his wildly successful books, Terminal List, True Believer, and Savage Son. Love him. And I can't wait to speak to him tomorrow. That's tomorrow, folks. Today, disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only. Informational, yes. Educational, yes. Advisory, no. You guys have to decide what's appropriate for you. Let's get started. Facebook, as you know, yesterday, we cited the unusual activity. And then the stock popped 10 minutes after we did it. Not because we did it, but because Facebook did a deal with Shopify. And they're going to have shops for all of us on Instagram and Facebook. If you want to shop there, if you want to put up a little storefront, you'll be able to. And that's going to be great for Shopify. It's going to be great for Facebook. So there I am talking about it yesterday, talking about the unusual option activity. And there's where it was yesterday, 216.40. Then it went to 220. Guess what? Those calls today with the stock trading 230 are trading for $10.47. That's just moments ago. Look at that. 2:43 Eastern Daylight Time. That's when I took that snapshot. They've traded all the way up on a high today of 11.25. That's, hey, Grant Cardone, are you listening? 10x! 10x. Because even if you paid $1.40, right now you got a 10x. And if you paid $1, it's 11x because it traded to 11.25. Bang! All right. That's why I love what I do for a living. Let's get to the next one. NTNX. Okay. So almost 16,000 of these bought with the stock at 21.83. Let me see something real quick while we're talking about NTNX. NTNX. Cloud-based play. Yeah. Guess what? Stock is up $1 from when we talked about these. Bang! And these calls, which were the May 25 calls, still an out-of-the-money call, folks. Even with the stock right now, basically at 23 bucks, these are an out-of-the-money call. So where are they trading right now? I'm going to get you reading in one sec. Those 25 calls are trading at $1.40. So if you bought them for 90 cents to $1.15, somewhere in that range, maybe you paid $1.15. If you paid $1.15, you're still up 25 cents on them, folks. It's not so bad. 35 cents. That's not a bad trade. In other words, for every $100 you put into this one, it's now worth $140. And that is on the bid. And they're moving up still. Volume, get this, folks. Volume today, 45,000 contracts right now. 45,000 contracts. That sound like a lot to you? It's a ton in NTNX, NTNX. And my friend, one of you, sent me this and said, hey, John, take a look at this. Here's a gap that it's got to fill. Look at that gap, folks. According to this person who sent me this, at Rewind Bose Lectra, hope I got that right, but I know I copied it correctly from the text that they sent me on Twitter. It's got a lot of room to the upside, folks. A lot of room. And look, so it fell off in March when everything was falling off a cliff, has been making a comeback. Look at the lows. It was coming back from $12, folks. And now it's back to $23. Bang! Look at that gap that it's got to fill. Boy, I hope Rewind Bose Electra that we're both ringing the register and doing our happy dance about this one. All right, let's get to the second of our 3 at 3. Home, H-O-M-E. So, stock was $4.33. They bought almost 10,000 of these July 5 calls for 45 cents up to 85 cents. Now, many of you ask, well, John, how do you know they were bought? Well, first of all, the prices were going up, which means the buyer's more aggressive than the seller, and they're driving the price up. And the stock is probably moving up. Now, you tell me, folks, if you're a market maker and somebody's coming in to buy calls, and they say, how many you got? And you say 400, and they say, buy them. Do you just stand there and keep selling them, or do you move your prices up? You probably move your prices up. And the next time they come in, you say, okay, I want 55 cents. Buy them. Okay, now I want 65 cents. Buy them. What do? You keep moving your prices up, and you keep hedging yourself, because they don't just bet against you or me. They're basically hedging themselves, buying stock against options or buying another option against the options that they're selling. So watch this one. Home was $4.33. It's $4.17 right now. So you can get in for about 16 cents cheaper than when the entry was made just a couple hours ago. Now, for our final 3 at 3, take a look at this one. Tesla. Ho-ho! Tesla, a repeat move on our UOA, or unusual option activity. They were buying the stock when it was $815 a share. They bought 10,000 calls. Okay, so what does that tell you? A, 10,000 calls. B, that's a million share equivalent. C, that's options that expire in 2 days, because tomorrow's Thursday and then we got Friday the 22nd. So these options expire before we go into Memorial Day, which is, of course, Monday next week. So, you know those bits of information already. Now, what strike are they buying? $8.50. So, does that mean somebody thinks it gets to $8.50 by Friday? Maybe. Could also mean that they just think it pops. Because if it pops to $8.20, $8.25, you don't think these options are going up? I do. And they would. Just, you've got very time-sensitive information here, folks. So whenever you're buying something that has theta, that's letter T, has theta, which is time decay, that's this severe, you frequently want to put on another call against it. So what I did here, folks, was, let me see what my fill prices look here, folks. Let me pull that up. Because I like to give you guys as much transparency as I can. By the way, wasn't Tom Lee great today? Gosh, I love that guy. He was on the halftime report. All right, let's see here. So with the stock at 8.15, you could jump in here and you could buy those 8.50 calls, and they're trading for $3.55. So does that seem like a great trade to you? It didn't to me either. So what I did was I bought the 8.20 calls, much closer to the money, but much more expensive. And those calls were trading for, they traded 10,800 of these, and they traded all the way up to 19 bucks. They closed yesterday at $12.65. So turns out I'm into these calls for $13.50. That's $13.50. Now, they're trading $11.55 right now. But, as I mentioned, I sold calls against them. So, since I'm long these $820 calls, I sold the $830 calls against it, and they traded all the way up to $14.85. Now, wouldn't it have been nice if I bought those at $13.50 and sold these at $13.50 and therefore had no risk on the trade? Because if I pay $13.50 for the one and sell the other at $13.50, that means I have no risk if I'm doing that one-to-one. But I didn't do that. I wish I could have. I paid $13.50 and I sold these calls at, where is the fill here? I sold these calls at $11. So that means that I have the difference between $11 and $13.50. Now, most of you can do the math, but that's $2.50. So I have $2.50 on the table. Bang, bang, bang. Now, that means I could lose all $2.50 if it doesn't move between now and Friday. I will probably trade out of this tomorrow. But I'm willing to ride it today for $2.50, which is a lot of money. Every one of these spreads cost me $250. A 10 lot is $2,500. I have over $25,000 in this trade. So what happens is I could, if the stock traded to 8.30, not 8.50, not what it says on your screen here, but if it traded to 8.30, my 8.20s would be worth how much then? $10. How much would the 8.30s be worth? $0, or a couple pennies maybe. What that means is it goes to $10, the difference between those strike prices. So what I did was I paid $2.50 for something that could be worth as much as $10. Now, as you know, my discipline is if this spread falls to $1.25, since I paid $2.50, falls to $1.25, I'm out. If it doubles from $2.50 to $5, I'll take off half. In fact, since it's so time sensitive, I might just exit the whole thing if it trades to $5 because I doubled my money. I turned $25,000 into $50,000. Bang, I'll take that, move on to the next trade. You have to decide how you want to invest your money. Here's the graph, the most recent graph. There it is on that opening when it popped all the way up there to $830 a share. Let me see, what was the high today? Where did she trade up to? It wasn't 830, it was 826. Traded up to almost 830, 826. But now it's $814 a share. So, do I get a shot? Does this go from 250 to 5? We'll see. Again, keep in mind, I'm long the 820s, short the 830s. I am Jon Najarian. You want to learn more about how to trade? Check out marketrebellion.com. That's marketrebellion.com. If you want to learn more about just unusual option activity, marketrebellion.com/UOA. If you're somebody that wants to get started in trading, you can go to marketrebellion.com/get started. That's marketrebellion.com/get started, and you can learn all about it. Folks, I appreciate you joining me here today. I hope you have a great day, and I hope that you had a little Facebook from yesterday, because let me tell you, that was a very nice ride, and I certainly appreciated it. I hope you guys did too. Have a great day. Thank you.